Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
You're ugly.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Will Snow White's movie be as good as it's really looking?
I have my doubts.
Beyond poison apples, beauty contests, and wicked stepmothers, Snow White's film promises to completely revolutionize the traditional Disney tale that practically everyone knows. And let's not forget about the great and faithful group of dwarves. Well, dwarves? I'm a bit unsure now. They're going to be much more important than usual in this plot. Even with doubts, we've practically discovered everything about the newest film featuring the oldest princess in Disney productions.
Get out of here, man!
Besides being Disney's first animated film, everyone, at least once, has heard the epic story of the princess with unparalleled beauty who is pursued by her stepmother and must take refuge in the forest.
Wow, impressive, impressive.
Not to mention her beautiful voice. But the truth is, the story that will hit the theaters will be very, very different from what you and I have heard before. For example, did you know that this film won't have no prince? Well, there might be a prince or two in the royal story that Snow White is a part of, since she truly is a princess. The prince from the original Disney movie, inspired by the original 1812 tale written by the Grimm brothers, sported a red cape, a horse, and a morbid desire to kiss unknown women at funerals.
Ugh.
Oh, and his name was Prince Florian, even though many people have no idea about that. And I'm mentioning all this because absolutely none of this will happen in the live-action version of Snow White. She won't be saved by the literal Prince Charming, but rather by another character created specifically for the film. Rumor has it that the name of Snow White's new romantic partner is Jonathan, and he'll be someone of much humbler origin and, let's say, rather questionable behaviors. It seems he has a habit of taking things from others, which is qualified as, let's say, stealing or thievery. But from what we've uncovered in the plot, everything suggests he'll be doing this for noble reasons, as he takes from the rich and gives to the poor. It's just not clear whether he'll be of noble birth or an ordinary person. But one thing's for sure, he won't be a prince, even if he comes from wealth. In fact, the actor to portray this character has already been chosen. His name is Andrew Burnham. Apart from the princess's romantic partner, who has the knack for befriending forest animals, there will also be a major change in those who are globally renowned and known as the Seven Dwarfs, magicians, and new characters. Peter Dinklage, one of Hollywood's prominent names, who was a key figure in the monumental series Game of Thrones, a while back criticized how the dwarf community is often portrayed in films, usually in a mocking and, according to him, outdated manner. The dispute got so intense that even the movie's title ended up changing, shifting from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs to simply Snow White. Due to this, and given the negative response to the possibility of a repeat, Disney, known for its commitment to political correctness, decided to completely transform the princess's group of friends. First off, it's known that there will be substantial diversity among the group members, both ethnically and in terms of gender, with black individuals and women joining the team of minors. I mean, the group that was once minors, as there's now less certainty about the exact roles of Snow White's closest companions. In fact, there's a pretty strong rumor that they won't actually be dwarves, but rather a community living together in the forest, where the princess seeks refuge to escape the wicked queen's schemes. Another intriguing concept floating around the online realm is that these characters will undergo a sensational upgrade, becoming much more than mere forest dwellers. Some members, perhaps not all, might even possess the ability to wield magic. This, in a way, could even rival the, let's say, villainous team in the story, consisting of the Queen, who simultaneously takes on the role of a witch disguised as elderly apple-bearing ladies, so never accept anything from strangers, along with the magic mirror, which seems to be both a companion and a wicked advisor to the Queen. And there's also a new character named Jamila, who will replace the Raven's role from the original film, serving as a listener to the Wicked Queen. But in the new movie, she'll have a more significant presence, albeit on the dark side of the tale, and she'll also be involved in spells and magic. In other words, we'll have new characters, old characters revamped, and, as always, a touch of that good old Disney fairy tale magic. We're hoping that the film, with all these changes, will still have a great story, with or without the dwarves. But if there's one thing that goes hand in hand with Disney films, it's a sprinkle of enchantment. So if you've ever watched a Mickey Mouse movie with even just a hint of magic and liked it, drop a comment below with #magic, because we hope the magic of fairy tales will also be present in this upcoming Snow White movie, which, from all indications, won't be as defenseless anymore, exactly as I'm about to explain while talking about strong Snow White. In fact, this wouldn't be the first time we see a version of Snow White who doesn't solely rely on a prince to save her, even though she does need assistance. In the latest adaptation of the tale, we even had a warrior princess who wielded a sword. But despite this history of battles in her life, especially for survival, the new film featuring Disney's first princess will showcase the character's cunning and fearless side, rather than focusing solely on her combat skills. Actress Rachel Ziegler herself mentioned the following: "It's an 85-year-old cartoon, and our version is a story about a woman who has a purpose beyond waiting for the prince." This indicates that we'll have a plot primarily focused on making the princess not only the titular character, but also the driving force of the actions. This seems like it will be pretty cool, yet at the same time, it suggests a storytelling approach, one that will undoubtedly be well sung. Couldn't resist the pun. The fact is, the new film will retain this aspect of the original, as it will be filled with the most beautiful and enchanting music. In true Disney fashion, the Snow White movie will uphold something that has become a hallmark of Disney films. There's not a single Disney animated movie without a musical number. And of course, this came about largely due to the tremendous success of the very first Disney film, which, coincidentally, was Snow White, released back in 1937. The original animation had a whopping 11 songs as part of its original soundtrack. Of course, not all of them were sung by the protagonist. Some were performed by the Seven Dwarfs, and another by the Wicked Queen. And, of course, the Prince Charming. However, the live-action film will surely explore this musical trait that's a part of the movie's history. And while not all, some of the songs will be incorporated into the 2024 version of the fairy tale. And, in fact, this was one of the reasons Rachel Ziegler was chosen to play the role of the princess, as she has delivered beautiful vocal performances in other films. And occasionally, she treats fans to a sneak peek during personal moments, singing some lovely tunes, which sort of gives us a preview of what we'll be seeing in the Disney mega production very soon. Release. The new Snow White film has had its release date and time set for quite a while now. It's scheduled to hit theaters on March 22nd, 2024. However, this time around, the film will premiere exclusively in cinemas before eventually making its way to the company's streaming catalog, Disney+. Unlike another classic from the company that also received a live-action treatment, Pinocchio, which went straight to streaming. This is because the Disney team has high hopes for the film's success. Not only is it a remake of the company's first animated film, but it also incorporates elements that the House of Mickey believes will draw a massive audience to the theaters, to see if the expectations indeed become reality. It's worth noting that despite the Hollywood screenwriters and actors strike, which took place between March and July 2023, Disney didn't postpone the film's release date. Most of the filming had already wrapped up, although some scenes are still pending. However, the bulk of the live-action work will be focused on post-production, including scene editing, adding special effects, and mixing the sung songs that will compose the movie's soundtrack, promising to be a historic one. Remember, the director of the film, Mark Webb, has previously directed both romance films like 500 Days of Summer and adventure films like The Amazing Spider-Man. In other words, he seems like the perfect fit to make a blend of romance and adventure work seamlessly on the big screen. At least that's what we hope and root for, as we're eager to watch another great film soon. That's all we know about Disney's classic Snow White live-action adaptation. Tell us if you've watched the original film and if you're planning to watch the upcoming one. We're curious. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye-bye!